morning, Jim.
Good morning.
I never have seen that.
Wow, it's so good to see all of you here this morning. This is a very blessed day for us. We have some guests with us that have been here before, but back again with us. We're happy to have them. Dan's got a friend that's here today that it's his first time. Would you introduce him?
Yeah, this is Tom Lucas.
Hi, Tom.
Good to have you here, Tom. Now help me, I don't want to miss any other first-time visitors. Steve is not a first-time visitor. Steve is, we just lost Steve somewhere along the way for a while. But it's so good to have him back.
Thank you.
Would you introduce your guest?
Dr. Rasheen.
Okay. And you've not been with us before, so we're happy to have you here. Awesome.
We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see whether we're happy or. Okay, you must know her pretty well. But it's so good to see you back, Steve.
You too. Glad to be here.
We missed you so much, so much. Good. Let's see. You have a guest back with you again today. He's not a first-time visitor,
No,
but
it's my brother Bob.
Bob. Maybe some of the people hadn't met him before. It's great to have Bob here. And Kelly's back from COVID. We're glad to have her back, all bright and shiny and healthy looking. And we've got Steve here this morning after 3 or 4 weeks on where are you traveling? Yeah. Is oh, there she is. Okay. Yeah, I thought you'd watched her. She said not a chance. I don't think she heard that. Good she did. Okay, and in thinking about praying for people this morning, please remember Steve. He's sick, and Dennis is sick, and Colette is really sick. I talked to her this morning. She sounds terrible. Melita, help me here. Who else do we have that's on the sick list? I mean, not with something long-term. Caroline's on the sick list twice. She's still got COVID. Arnold got over it. He had a rough time through it, about 12 days. They didn't give him that whatever drug that's supposed to really turn it around real quick. And everybody that's gotten that thing just gets over it in a day or so. But they didn't give it to him, so he had 12 days of it. Now Caroline's got it, but she's doing better because they did give her that.
But she's also got thrush for the extended antibiotics.
Thrush? Is that in her feet?
In her mouth. That's horses.
You know, horses had thrush and it was in their feet.
In her mouth.
In her mouth, okay. I don't know anything about thrush in your mouth. I know about treating horses with thrush.
Babies get thrush.
That's right, isn't that right?
Yeah, all kinds of weird things you can do to treat a horse with thrush. Stand them in hot salty water, a bucket of hot salty water. They had stuff you could spray them with the feet, squirt on their feet. All kinds of stuff, brings back memories. That as well as, I said something the other day about giving Zymectin to horses.
Yep.
And people thought, whoa, you're kidding me. Because that's used for other things nowadays. Ivermectin, yeah. It was Zymectin for horses. Yeah. Okay, so good to have all of you here. Good to see you. Have our visitors with us. And just happy to have all of you here. It's soon going to be spring. So I know everybody is just still waiting for that. Ricky just told me it's probably going to be the 1st of April before the little snow showers stop. But it's not far away. We're going to get there. Okay, let me share some announcements with you. March 10 through 12 is the Roadster Show at the fairgrounds. That's at 10 to 9, 10 in the morning to 9 at night on Friday and Saturday, and I think it's 10 to 5 on Sunday. Veterans and Patriots fundraiser at 10 o'clock at Harley-Davidson, March the 11th. Sunday, March the 12th, we move our clocks forward, so you need to remember that. That's an important move, because if you don't get it right this time, you'll miss church. The other way, you'll just stay in church longer. You'll be here maybe before it opens. But 8:30 Thursday, March the 16th is our men's breakfast at Lapeef. We'd love to have you join us there if you are able to do that. Saturday, March the 18th is the St. Patrick's Day event at Harley-Davidson starting at 10 o'clock. The Vintage Ride is in Caldwell the 18th, Saturday the 18th at 1 o'clock. And the Vintage Show is in Caldwell on the 19th, Sunday the 19th from 12 to 4. Now the ride is over across from Mallard Park in Caldwell.
Yep.
And the show is at the Field House.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Is that vintage people or vintage motorcycles?
Vintage people and motorcycles.
I don't want to go there.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Most of the people are a lot older than the motorcycles. But that's a good one. I appreciate that. But it's fun. It's fun to see all the old bikes and you know, people just love showing them, and it's a good time. Family friendly, very nice atmosphere. Take your kids, grandkids, they love it. Okay, as I said a while ago, Colette is sick, but we have the boys are back in town.
Yeah.
Woo!
Back in town.
Okay.
We just apologize in advance.
Oh my goodness. The bowl back there, you can drop your change in for the baby bottle drive, or you can wait, save up your change and wait until the bottles are distributed, whichever way you want to go with that. But it might be good if you want to drop your change in back there in that bowl, and then we can deal with it that way. Probably easier than even the bottles. Okay, that covers our announcements in those ways. This is going to be hard. But I have something to share with you that before I share it, I can say to you that I know, without doubt, I know absolutely that what I'm going to share with you is the perfect will of God at this time. Okay? Let me go back just a little bit, because it's two aspects of this. You'll remember several months ago that we brought the awareness to you that we were giving to 11 different mission organizations, and we came to the place that we couldn't continue to do that, and so we cut those back, and the leadership and I, all of us together, thought that that was going to solve our problem. Well, it hasn't. And the last 6 months, we have been in the red every month. And not to the tune of just a few dollars, but over 3,000, over 2,000, close to 2,000. And so the leadership has had to come to a position to make a choice. Our lease on this building goes for one more year this month. And so we had a choice. We could keep going until all the money was gone, which would allow us to go on a few more months, or we could try to do the most Christian, honorable thing with the landlord that we could do. And so we chose, of course, to do the best that we could do to be a Christian witness and conduct ourselves in an honorable manner in terms of breaking this lease agreement. So we went to the owner and we presented our situation and told him that we wanted to do the right thing and just asked him what would be the right thing in his mind for us to do. And he told us that he would be willing to let us out of the lease agreement if we would pay 5 months rent. And one of those months would be this month, which we had just paid, had just sent to him. So we would be paying him 4 additional months after we leave the building. And that give him time to rent the building. And he was very gracious and very helpful, very understanding, and he clearly felt that we were doing the right Christian and honorable thing. And that's what we wanted to do with the best that we could do. So this month, our rent went up to just $1 or so short of $3,000 a month. And so over the last couple of weeks or so, that means that we've spent 15. Yeah.
It was already 3,000. It went up, what?
Yeah, what was our rent
You said it
before?
was just over 3,000. It's been 3,000 for quite a while.
Yeah, but it's been 3,200, so it goes up to 3,300. That's what I was trying to get. 3,300. Yeah. Thank you for correcting me on that. 3,300. But anyway, that was us having to deal with 5 months rent right there together straight in a row. And so he allowed us to do that. And he's going to give us a letter showing that he has allowed us to be out of the lease legally, and there'll be nothing to ever come from it. We will be clear. Now, that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of what I'm sharing with you is this. As I've been seeing this happen over the last few months, I feel that I have been seeing God close the church. And in the process of seeing that, I feel like that God has been showing me, and I hope Belita, she usually comes along a little later on these things than I do, but hopefully together we can say that we're seeing God open a door for us in another area of motorcycle ministry that you've heard me mention several times in the last couple of years. It's been in my heart to want at some time down the road, I didn't think it would be now, but sometime down the road, I always thought it'd probably be next year at this time, but to be able to begin a more aggressive evangelistic outreach in motorcycle ministry. And I just feel like that God is saying to me, this is the time. And the church is closing in His time, and then He's saying to me, this is the time, if you're going to do it, to do it. Because I don't know how much longer I have to be active enough to do the kind of thing that we want to do. You know, all of you know this back situation I've had. God's going to have to do some miracle for me to go on and get to do it now, the way I want to do it. And so those two things come together. And that's what I said in the beginning. I am 100% certain in my mind and in my heart that this is the right direction for our church and for Belinda and myself also. It's the right direction for the church, not what we want. I would not be retiring now if it were not for the financial situation. But if we're going to do it the honorable way, we've got to do it now. Because if we keep going, we won't have any money to buy out of the lease. So we're pressed to do it at this time, and that's why I'm saying that I believe it's right and that God has allowed it to come to pass in this manner. Until this year, we have never, maybe one little time back a few years ago, we had a little problem, but until this year, we have never had any financial problems in this church, never. And we have, for many years, had a goal of giving away 50% of what we brought in. And like I say, when we had to cut down in the giving a few months ago, we were giving to 10 different mission organizations. And anywhere from $600 each to $800, or some of the others $400, some others $200 in that fashion. So just the fact that this is happening, I see God's hand in it. And I know this is hard to announce, it's hard to think about. It's not something that we want to do at this time, but it's just where God has us. And I want to thank each one of you for your years of support with this church. It's interesting. We started the church in the Busted Shovel April the 6th, 2008. The day we left the Busted Shovel was April the 6th, 10 years later. We were there exactly to the date, 10 years. We moved into this building, and notice this. We moved into this building, and we moved in April 5 years ago. And by the time we get everything settled, all the dust settled, it will be April the 6th. And why I'm going to tell you it's April the 6th is this. We, of course, have had to deal with what we're going to do with all the furniture, okay? And so we've contacted an auctioneer, and we're very blessed with the timing on this. This is not enough furniture to have an auction of its own, but he has a big auction April the 6th. And he will come and pick up all our stuff. We'll have to get rid of this platform, and we may have to take the TVs down, but he'll pick it all up. We don't have to worry about hauling it anywhere, and he'll take it to the auction. So the point I'm making is this: that's another reason we had to make a move now, is to hit that big auction, and then the final, when everything is completely settled with the church, it will be April the 6th, 15 years from the Sunday we started. I don't think that timing is a coincidence. I feel like that timing within itself is beyond anything we could have timed to come out that way. And that also makes me see God's hand in this. And I know it's going to be hard. We have been together for a long time. We love you, you love us, you love each other at this church. It's been the best church we've pastored. I can truthfully say that. And we had an awesome time with the Navajo Indians. But if I had to compare one to the other, I thought I'd never do anything any greater in my mind than to work with the Navajos. But I have to say that this is exceeded that. And I want to thank every one of you for all that you have done in the years of being involved in this church. And I want you to understand that I am not in any way saying that anybody has not done what they should do. financially. You guys, for a church this size, have just given over the top. And one thing I said when we started this church was, I am not going to hound people for money. I hated like crazy several months ago to even mention the financial situation we were in. But I made it clear then that I'm not asking for more money from anybody. We're just going to cut this out, and then hopefully we'll be okay. And I would not be asking now for more money from anybody, because you are incredible givers, incredible givers. And I want you to know that. The thing that has gotten us is this. If you'll remember, we were having about 80, 85 people at the bar. When we moved here, we anticipated having more people. But instead, we lost people. We lost about 20 people. So when we came here, we were having about 65 people in attendance. And COVID hit. And now we're having 45. So what's happened is this. It's not that this church has not given like it should. It's we've lost the people, and we do not have the number of people to give to make us keep going. As I told you before, back about when we had to cut out the mission giving, we had been giving for a long time on surplus. There had been large donations that had come in back a couple of years ago, and we were giving way above each month what was coming in. But it was okay because we had the surplus. And then we got down to where we don't have the surplus. We cut it out, and then we're down to where we don't have enough to pay the bills and continue. So I hope that you know, you understand this, and I'll shut up after saying this. I really pray and I really encourage each one of you right now today to leave this church service and go home and get before God and start seeking where He wants you to go to church, so that you will have, it may not be the very place you wind up being, but so that you will have a place in mind that the first Sunday in April, you will go to that church. And you will see if that's the church God has in mind for you. If it's not, keep praying and seeking Him until you find a church. Now, why am I making a big deal of that? Because it is a big deal. If you just say, well, I like that church, I don't think I'll ever find a church that fits me that much anymore, I'm just not going to go, you're going to be living in sin. That's the bottom line. And I don't want you living in sin. You don't want to live in sin. God don't want you to live in sin. You say, well, how do you say I'm going to live in sin? Because the Bible says to believers, forsake not the assembling of yourselves together. It is of vital importance that we attend church. Vital importance. And I just want to encourage you to do that. And I don't know where Belinda and I are going to wind up, but we're going to find a church. In my thinking, during the ride season, I'd like to think that I would find one that fit us, that I could go on Saturday night, and then I could have Saturday to go to rides or car shows, and Sunday to do the same, and go to church on Saturday night during that ride season, so I could get out there more than what I'm able to get out there now with, you know, with us having church every Sunday. But I don't know where it'll be, but God's going to lead us to the right church. And if you will seek Him, as you should, He will lead you to find a place that's going to be exactly perfect and right for you. Okay? Now, you know the difference between somebody telling a lie and telling the truth. You know the Word of God. And if you go to a church and the truth's not being preached, then find it to where it is. Because you know the truth. And you can recognize that which is false. Okay? And so God is going to lead you and protect you and take you, each one of us, to the exact right place. So, Sunday the 26th will be our last day. Okay? Colette is planning a big event for that day. We're going to have a chili cook-off. So bring your chili, bring a salad, a dessert, and some cornbread. Okay? Goes good with chili. And also be praying and preparing for this. I'm not going to preach the 26th. I'm going to give the sermon time to you so that you can be able to share anything God's leading you to share about your experience with Jesus, your experience with God in and through this church, your experience with people in the church, whatever it is that God would bring to your mind that would be important for you to share and for the rest of us to hear. The last Sunday we're together. And I just feel like that will be the way to close our service, by you just sharing from your heart what God has done in and through Common Ground Bible Church. Okay? I want to ask you to do this. I do want to ask you if you would be willing to go on and give your regular tithes and offerings for this month, so that we will have enough to cover everything and close everything out the way we want to. There's a benevolent need that the leadership is praying about. We don't know whether God's going to lead us to see the need to participate in it. But if God does lead us to do it, it's going to be about $3,000. And if He wants us to do that, I would like to see us leave on that kind of note, you know, in the church, on the kind of note of helping someone that really He might show us needs the help. We just don't know yet what He's going to show us, but we're praying about it, and that may be possible. So hopefully, you know, we will have what we need to finish it out in the right way and close everything off that way. Now, I think I've said everything. Belinda, do you have anything to say?
You might address the YouTube people.
Yes, okay. I know that some of you are going to hear this message on YouTube, and we're also including you in sharing this. I wish I'd have made reference to it earlier, but you will hear everything just like the people here have done. Melita's going to go this afternoon and put out an email to everyone to say that the church is closing, or probably just say we're retired and the church is closing the 26th, and encourage them to look at the YouTube for today and get further information. And then everybody can go to this and get the same information that you have. Now, do you have anything else, Belinda? You have anything you'd like to say? Okay, I want to open it up now for anyone that would like to have a question about what's going on. You don't understand some aspect of what I've shared. You have a comment about what's going on, and you feel like you would like to share that, then I want to give you all the time that is necessary for you to do that. Okay? Yes, Jim.
I have no idea about what churches are available. You know, there's a lot of them around here. I don't know enough churches.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to try to tell anybody where to go to church, but I know that one of the things that you like here is verse by verse teaching of the Bible. And as far as I know, now, there could be 10 of them out there, or 20, I don't know. But I do know, because of what people tell me, that some of the Calvary Chapel churches have pastors that preach verse by verse. So if that's what you're looking for, then you might want to consider Calvary Chapel. Now, if you want a bigger church, you can find a Calvary Chapel church that's larger. If you want a church smaller, you can find some Calvary Chapel churches that are new plants. They're just getting started. And you can go to a smaller church. But that's something that's possible if that's what you're looking for in terms of Bible teaching.
I have no idea where they are.
Mike, you had something?
Yeah, would you consider on the 26th or the 19th, whichever, that we could partake in the Lord's Supper?
I have considered that, and we were going to do that the 9th, and I don't think we're going to do that. Okay? I had considered that. Greatly considered it.
If anybody wants to help us break down, we sure could use the help.
Yeah. And what he means by break down is probably take these things down and take the platform out and just disconnect the sound system. It's not going to be a huge amount to do, but it will be something that people need to help with. So I'm going to leave it in your hands that you call people, and I want you to realize that you may get a call from Robert, and I would really appreciate
Calling
it.
you people.
I would really appreciate it if you would make yourselves available to him, and he'll set a time. It'll have to be after the 26th. But if there's some of you that would already volunteer, and Robert can know he can count on, if you would hold up your hand, that would be greatly appreciated.
So is all of this going to auction?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyone else be willing to help?
I think we got it.
Okay. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Yes.
This little four square church over here, I went there for a year and led worship, and there's nothing, he's a good Bible teaching church, so
Where is that?
just right down the street, across the street here.
It's on Meridian.
It's on Meridian on your left, just like 2 blocks down.
Oh, okay, okay. Is it the little church on the left there that has just changed to a different church from what it was for years? I don't know the one you're talking about then.
Yeah, you just go to Meridian Road.
You go down
Right,
Meridian Road
left.
through the stoplights?
Nope,
No.
just go out of the parking lot and go right on Meridian Road.
Right on
the
Meridian
left.
Road.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you were talking about
Yeah, I did.
another
I
one.
was
Okay,
saying-
right on Meridian Road, and then it's a church on the left. Okay, it's easy to find right there.
Yeah.
And so that's a good Bible teaching church.
Nothing wrong with that church, if
Okay.
you go visit and
Okay.
give it a try.
Jim, that's one you could walk to,
Yes. I know it.
and it's
I know
good.
the
It's
path.
getting a good recommendation. Yes, Mike.
I live across the street from a grade school in Middleton, and every Sunday they have a Christian group that goes in there. I don't know if they're in the auditorium or where, but they have service every Sunday there.
Okay, in Meridian, at the
Middleton, at the
school.
grade school.
Oh, at Middleton. Middleton
I don't
at
know if
Christ.
that's a
I meant to say Middleton.
County thing that they allow over there versus here, but it's at a public school that they hold this.
Okay,
They put some little signs out.
okay.
And they have a real small maybe even smaller than this.
Okay.
I guess you go there.
Okay.
A couple of ladies at my water aerobics classes were talking, and every so often I'll chit chat with them. And they said, 2 people mentioned Calvary Chapel Stars, and it started last June.
Mhm.
And it's a Bible teaching, awesome worship. really great church.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Bible, Calvary Chapel in Star.
It meets up north or more north of here, almost at Star, but not all the way to Star. It's kind of in between here and Star.
Between here and Star.
At a school.
At a
So,
school.
Yeah. So it's a kind of a funny, once you find it, but it's kind of a funny way to find
Okay,
it.
Is it on the
So-
highway or where?
It's off McDermott.
McDermott?
You go north on McDermott.
Out of Star.
No,
It's before Star on McDermott,
It's
okay.
in Virginia.
Okay, get on McDermott and go west and you'll find it.
That's that new charter school.
Okay, it's at the charter school on McDermott. Okay, that's another good possibility. Yes, Jim. Okay, anyone else have a comment, question?
Don't go.
What?
Don't go.
Yeah. I think giving you the absolute clear, all the information, I think that, I know it's something we don't want to happen right now, but I think you can see from all the things that go together to make it's the right time and the right move. Yes.
Can the people in the church buy anything before it goes to auction, like your chairs or stands or anything?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's fine.
There's a ladies sewing group. We will continue here until the end of March.
And then you're gonna meet where?
Wherever.
Okay, you all will make a decision, and the ladies sewing class will make a decision about if they want to continue, meeting.
Well, yeah, all of it come
Are you asking for volunteers to take this stuff somewhere?
No,
Are
no,
they coming here?
they're coming here to get it. All we're asking volunteers for is to take this stage apart, take those TVs down, and just disconnect the sound, the wires. He'll come and get everything, the sound, he'll get all of this unless people want to buy some of it. He'll take everything away, okay? So that's all we're asking for, is just the help to do that. And we will have about a week and a half or so to do it, because he will want to get this, stuff between Sunday the 26th and April the 6th. Because we're going to be till the 26th. Huh?
Taking it down sooner the better after the service.
Yes, sooner the better after the 26th, yeah, because he's going to want to get in here and get it out. Okay, other questions or comments?
Comment, I'm storing the electric drum set. So somebody said about buying stuff before it goes, so there's also the electric drum set that
Okay.
works.
Okay. And if nobody buys that, can you bring it in?
Yeah,
for
I'll bring it
auction?
in, yeah.
Okay.
Well, probably cost you $3.98, but
Okay.
I'll bring it in.
Okay, anything else? Is there, I know there's very few here today, well, we got only one this time. But is there anybody on the leadership team that would like to have any opportunity to speak? If you can make something clearer than I did or add something I forgot, I would really appreciate it if you guys would speak up now.
Well, this is the right time for, like you say, this is God's timing, and you deserve to go on and fulfill the mission that God's got for you. You've done several years of ministry, church ministry, and now is the right time for you to move on and go and fulfill what God's got, and He will bless you.
I appreciate you saying that. And I want all of you to understand, I think you already know, but let me clarify it for certain. This would not be happening now if it were not for the circumstances, the way that God has allowed it to be brought about. It would have been a year from now that we would have.
So
But-
one last thing. whole bunch of church directories.
Thank you. That's what I was gonna say.
And they have all the information, phone numbers of everybody that went in. Take them, keep in contact.
If you wanna keep in contact with everybody, that'd be a great way to go.
Okay. Okay, so this is, praise God, this is 48 years for us. And my plan was to go to 50. But I realized that God's saying now instead of 50. And maybe what I can do is at least another 2 years, believe it, and I can do of active, aggressive motorcycle ministry. So that would make 50. But as far as being in a church or whatever, and there's been little gaps when we moved from one church to another, or at a time we waited until another church opened up, or various things. But our ministry has mostly been planting churches and starting churches like this one, like the last Navajo church that we ministered at, we started it. And my thought about that was, if I was going to find somebody to have us, we was going to have to start the church. So that has worked pretty well. Just start a church, and then you don't have to depend on somebody else thinking they want you. You say, oh, this is a church, come on. And you'll think, well, that's right. You're not laughing. You're supposed to be laughing. Okay. We love you.
We love you.
And it's been a great ride. A great ride. Okay.
Keep us posted when you're going to stuff, that you invite us.
Okay. One of the things that we're hoping to do and planning to do, one of the big things we're planning to do at this time is the end of June and the 1st of July, we're going to the East Coast. And we're going to take the route out there if God allows us, if I'm in the right health to do it. And I'm believing God's going to give me that health and strength. Believe it can do it. She's better shape than I am right now. But we just want to go and hit town after town that are big towns with motorcycle shops, and go and visit with people and share with people, and putting together a track that will work for car shows and motorcycle people. And we want to pass out those tracks at motorcycle shops all the way across the country, and then on the way back, come back another route and hit other shops. And that's what I mean by a more aggressive ministry. And what we will be passing out to people is something that will in just a small thing like this, on the front and half on the back, it will share everything they need to know about the gospel, about how to be saved, why they need to be saved, and it will be totally biblical. And in a matter of a minute and a half, they can read that, and they can hear the truth, or read the truth. And I'm just trusting that as we just go in that manner, that God in His almighty power is going to bring us in contact with people that He has ready to say, I'm going to read this. And they're going to read it, and they're going to be touched with the message and be saved. And that's our plan. So we're going to be doing a lot more stuff here. Yeah. Car shows, several Saturdays, that's when they mostly are. But then bike rides on Saturday and Sunday. And what we're doing is just getting it off the, what was it you got the list off of so far?
Google rides.
Just Google rides and car shows, and that's that's what we're gonna come up with. We don't have,
But I'll put out emails on
I
it.
was gonna say, if you could still do that, that'd be great, Alina.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Also, the ladies that spend time with Patty, Rosemary's kind of leading out in that. Do you want to continue that?
Yep, I would like to.
Absolutely.
I think she needs the support.
I need this support.
She inspires us. We need Patty. We need Patty in our lives.
okay? That's awesome. That's awesome what you ladies are doing with Patty and those that are on standby, willing to step in when you need to have a day off from your regular day.
So you said you and Valita are gonna live off room service.
What? What do you think?
You and Jim are gonna live off of room service.
I don't think so.
Traveling across the country,
Huh? Well, we won't have room service.
and taking your motor home?
No.
Where
We're
you
gonna
gonna
go
sleep?
we're gonna go on the trike
Where are you gonna sleep?
in motels.
Room service.
Well, we won't ask for room service, that's possible. The motels we're probably gonna stay in will not have room service. I go lower than that. When I did the cross-country thing, Valita went with me to the West Coast and came back, and then she went with me to Albuquerque and flew back home. But I did the rest to the East Coast and all the way back. And you got to get this. I was averaging, I think, $110 or $11 a day. That was gas, food, and motel.
Yeah, but how many?
Now, I know I can't take Valita to those places. I know she'll just say, this is it, I'm not going. And she'll just turn around and go back home. We're gonna have to upgrade it a little bit. Maybe upgrade to Motel 6. Because I'm telling you, I was below Motel 6.
Is there a base motel?
What?
The base,
Like the Bates.
Okay, all right, okay, God bless you, thank you for letting me just take so much time to try to completely present this to you and to those of you that are gonna see it on YouTube, because we've got several people that for various reasons are out today, sickness, or either they've got a family member that's sick that had to care for, and so they will get the word to get it out on, to see it on YouTube and get the full thing. Okay? Again, God bless you guys, and we're gonna let the boards at back come on up and lead us in worship. Uh-oh, they're fired up.
Just throw that anywhere, done with it.
Jim,
Yes.
for your cross-country trip, I have a 65 GMC school bus.
Oh, do you?
And ICMS has a tent, big tent. It shows cross-country.
Okay. How about that, Blue?
I have a motor home.
But that's gonna be too expensive to go across country.
Couldn't be more expensive than motels.
No, I think by the time you do the gas, and what you have to pay just to stay in an RV place now. And then you think about, what I'm talking about.
They got Walmart.
When I'm talking about paying for a motel, no, we could not do it in the motorhome as cheap as a trike.
Well, no, but, yeah, Walmart, you can sleep at Walmart for free.
Walmart, Lowe's.
So contact churches.